This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Good morning to you all, and right now we are focused on a live look at the burnt-out church that once held Skate Laborious. We'll learn more about a special brainstorming session today in just a few minutes. But first of all, good morning to you. It is Sunday, November 19th. I'm Travis Cummings.
And I'm Mercedes McKay. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this Sunday. We are joined by Tracy Henson, Weather First meteorologist. And Tracy, I know the rain's not coming today, but you're tracking some possibly for tomorrow?
Definitely am, and it's going to come in not even technically tonight. It's going to come in the early morning, but like 2, 3 a.m. is when we're going to start to see those showers. So while most of us are asleep. Temperature-wise today, it's nice and sunny. Temperatures have already warmed up into the upper 40s. It does feel a little cooler, but not by much, about 46 degrees. Humidity is really low today, so 41%. If you're feeling a little bit of a scratchy throat, maybe your nose, you might have already had a nosebleed, something like that, it's probably due to the humidity and not that you're catching a cold or have allergies. So, a little humidifier in your room, something like that would really help today. Through the rest of our day, we're going to make it into the low 60s, a good mix of sun and clouds. We do turn overcast, though, by sunset time. Temperature-wise, tonight we're looking at about 44 degrees. We're going to turn cloudy. We're actually going to be cloudy, and then we're going to have that rain early on in the morning. Our sunset is at 4:45.
In with you in just a bit. Well, new at 9, a crash closed the northbound lanes of South Grand Boulevard near Magnolia in the Shaw neighborhood this morning. The first calls for the crash came in around 7:30. Our crew on the scene counted at least 5 cars involved. Right now, we have no word on injuries or what caused that crash. And overnight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu refuted claims by the Washington Post that Israel had agreed to a temporary ceasefire in exchange for 50 Hamas hostages.
Right now, Israeli Defense Forces believe there are 237 hostages being held in Gaza. Netanyahu and Israel's war cabinet will meet with representatives from the hostages' families later this week. Well, happening today in our area, there are a couple rallies y'all should know about. First off, there will be a rally for Israel in St. Charles. Demonstrators will call for the release of all Hamas hostages. It will be in Frontier Park from 12:30 to 2 this afternoon. Organizers ask you to bring a stroller if you have one, plus Israeli and American flags. Now, as that demonstration ends, there will be a Ceasefire Now rally in Clayton. American Muslims for Palestine invite the community to meet at 2 p.m. in Shaw Park, where they will highlight the humanitarian crisis in Gaza as they call for an end to the fighting. Then at 5, there will be a fundraising dinner at the Islamic Foundation of Greater St. Louis's gym over on Weidman Road. All the money will go to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. Now, the group is also organizing a bus and hotel rooms for the 16th Annual Convention for Palestine in the U.S. It's happening this weekend at the Tinley Park Convention Center outside of Chicago. It will cost $100 a person.
And right now, 3 A.E. Pie brothers from Mizzou are home for Thanksgiving break.
Like here in America, it's kind of hard to help out in some ways. So any way that we could figure it out, how to help, we're willing to do it.
Driving more than 3 hours south of Columbia, almost 20 A. Pie brothers from Mizzou made the trip to Branson on October 9th. Their Jewish fraternity president learned about Ariel Presso, who had just lost his son in the October 7th Hamas attacks while attending a music festival in the desert.
More sadness than I had ever felt, because I can't imagine what this guy is going through. And not only that, he's all alone in Branson, where there's not a huge Jewish community.
In the Jewish faith, sitting Shiva means eating and telling stories about those who passed. But a few things were missing for the prayer circle called a minyan.
To have a minyan, which is a group of 10 people in Judaism who say prayer. It's not just when somebody dies. Usually Jewish prayers are said in a group of 10, making it a minyan. And he didn't have 10 people to be part of the minyan with him.
All 3 of the A. Pie brothers are Parkway Central High School graduates. Ryan and Brian have known each other since preschool. They say this chapter of their college years is one of the most meaningful.
It's hard enough losing someone, let alone your son, in a horrible act like what just happened. And then to be alone, putting yourself in those shoes, it really is upsetting. So we wanted to really just get down there and make sure that he knew that he had a community surrounding him.
Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Yeah, and the boys tell us that if you're interested in helping Israel, you can donate to organizations like the Jewish Federation of St. Louis or the Jewish National Fund. And to read more about the Israel-Hamas war and its impact on our region, just text the word Israel to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link.
This weekend marks 2 years since a deadly crash killed 2 MoDOT workers and seriously hurt a third. They were working along Telegraph Road in South County. Now, one victim's family is honoring her life while continuing to fight for change. For Tanya Muskoff, the last 2 years can only be described in one way.
Pure hell. Every day waking up without my daughter and grandson is devastating.
It's been 24 months since she lost her daughter, Caitlin Anderson, and her unborn grandson, Jax.
She always put others first and put herself last. She was kind and she wanted to be a mama more than anything.
But that dream was taken from the 25-year-old MoDOT worker when she was hit by a car on Telegraph Road in South St. Louis County.
Some days I still feel like I cannot believe that this actually happened.
The crash also taking the life of Anderson's coworker, 58-year-old James Brooks.
This was preventable. They should be here right now, and they would have been here now if MoDOT had done their job.
Now, 2 years later, the bridge that caused 2 families so much pain is being named in honor of Anderson. But family, friends, and legislators aren't stopping there.
After we learned all of the different mistakes that MoDOT had made, that this was preventable. And so when you see something like that, as legislators, we're here to protect people.
From legislation to meetings, several lawmakers out of Jefferson City have been working tirelessly to make sure what happened to Anderson and Brooks never happens again.
We're working to go farther with this and make it better for just workers so they can come home.
While the fight for justice is far from over.
None of this should be forgotten, and it really is going to take not just our legislators, but it's going to take the citizens of Missouri.
This mother is pleading for change so no one has to feel the pain she's felt for the past 24 months.
I want the corporations to protect their employees, to give them the proper protection that they need to do their job and to go home to their family, like Caitlin did get a chance to.
Such a heartbreaking story there. Part of I-70 in North St. Louis City will be named after Brooks to keep his legacy alive. His coworker, Michael Brown, was hurt in the crash, but he survived.